What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the JuveCorner cast. Kolo Muani to Juventus is a done deal. But before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, push notifications for more daily awesome videos just like this one. My name is Gio, and I got Angelo here, and we got all your Juve news right now. So Kolo Muani, everybody. Kolo Muani. He's officially a Juventus player. There's a lot of things that were happening, especially what happened on Instagram and Twitter with the photos being taken off. But those were for the PSG because he's on a dry loan to the end of the season. And yeah, no, we're gonna talk about the Colomani transfer, man. It's like I said, it's a big deal. I mean, Angelo, what you think about Colomani, man?
Definitely a solid player. We spoke about this in the past on our streams. If anyone has seen, I feel he's a definitely a solid player to Juventus. I personally don't think he's a game changer yet. I could be wrong. That could be the possibility. He's definitely has a lot of potential for Juventus if everything aligns perfectly with him. So I'm optimistic, and I hope we could see the best out of Colomwani. Solid player. I hope there's a future for him at this club, and we could start to turn this season around.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw like with Colomani, we saw like a lot of things, especially at PSG, not being as consistent. He wasn't as to his true form when he was at Eintracht Frankfurt. In the beginning when he was playing there. But I think this Juventus, it gives us, I think, a little bit more of a boost in the attack in terms of, I think, the creativity towards the wings. And I'm really excited to really have Colomani on the team. Especially very physical as well. I think his hold up play is really great as well. There's at times where you can see in certain games that there is some type of clumsiness that comes from him. But I think overall, Colomani to Juventus, I think will really change our attack because remember, I think better players around him as well when he's going to be end up playing. So I think it's going to be way better in terms of our attack going forward. And no, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think that he could really change our attack going forward and maybe causing a threat down that striker side, like right down the middle? Like, what do you think?
No, I definitely think he could create a different type of attack that we haven't seen in the past. Really applying the pressure up top to the other team, and also they did say in reports that there was talks with Colomwani that he can be a person that could help Juventus play in different formations. Now we can explore different formations with him on our team, so that's definitely a positive because we haven't been too flexible with the current formation we've been playing. We've been trying to do different free roam types of play where we've put McKennie out on the side and just really try to scatter players and let the game flow. I feel with him we could try something different from our 4-2-3-1 and have a little more structure with it. So I agree. I think he's gonna definitely provide some attack. I mean, that's the only thing you can really hope for as a Juventus fan, but we can only see once he steps foot on the pitch. So let's
Yeah.
let's hope our formations can be more versatile with him, and we could really start getting the wins for the rest of the season and for Champions League.
Yeah, no, it's actually surprisingly, he actually will not be, and this is for everybody to know, he will not be actually inserted into the Champions League squad until if we make it to the round of 16s or the playoffs. So the group
Yes.
stages, for the rest of the group stages, he will not be included into that UCL spot. But I would say one thing, listen, it's
We're
good
trying
to
to be
do well in
optimistic.
UCL.
We're hoping
Yeah,
he gets to UCL. So
I mean,
so
yeah, of course, of
that's the
course.
positive mindset. Like Gio said, he's until then he can't he's not able to be in there. But if we get to that point, I definitely think he would be an asset that will could be useful in that stage of the tournament.
Yeah, guys, and not just that, but one thing I've noticed about Colomwani is that he could definitely be that in terms of opening the wings, for us, especially for like for example, a Conceição. I think the link up play between Conceição and maybe Colomwani is going to be way better in terms of for example, Vlahovic. And I also think that when Colomwani is going to be playing, we're going to be playing it in a little bit more better high tempo. We're going to be playing a little bit more, I think, quicker, as we saw in that Atalanta game, which was like I said, we'll talk about it also with the Mota tactics and stuff like that, how he could really fit in, which is a big thing. So like I said, I think this is a great deal, especially on a dry loan. Yes, expectations, yes, but the thing is that it's a dry loan. Like I said, you could expect it bad or you could expect good. So and listen, we don't have to really purchase him until maybe we get like a in the summer we could see something better. And like I said, it all depends, I think, on Mota. It depends on also what happens with Vlahovic. Because if something happens with Vlahovic, then like I said, then I think Colomani might be the overall starter, which he's gonna be, I think, even fighting for that role. I mean, what do you think with the fighting role between Vlahovic and Colomani? Do you think that Colomani is gonna be like that type of player to be on the bench and like come off, or do you think that he could be like fighting that for that first spot?
Well, this is this is my thoughts about it. You bring in a guy like Kolomwani. When you have a guy like Vlahovic, they definitely needed a, another striker to have. But if you're bringing in a guy like that right now in the season, you're having some doubts about your current striker.
Yeah.
When you do that, you're having doubts about your current striker. So definitely, I think the cards are on the table for who can earn that spot. I don't think anyone has it locked. I think of Kolomwani, I don't think he may not start right away. He may come off the bench and try to work his way into that lineup. Or if he's doing phenomenal in training, Mota may say, "Yeah, you have the starting spot this week for sure." But I think it's going to be a dogfight for that position. It's definitely up for grabs because we haven't been producing in that role. It's a role that we do need. It's not like yeah, players are it's not like we have a player that's performing there consistently and it's just like we're grabbing him as a backup. We're grabbing him because we need someone an alternative for that role. And if he produces and shows to be better than Vlahovic, I don't see why there's no reason why we shouldn't play him. I think he should win that spot over Vlahovic if he does a better job. If he doesn't do a better job, then it should stay to Vlahovic. But
Hmm.
we only see that with time, and Mota sees that with the trainings. Unfortunately, we're not at the trainings right now, so we can't say officially, yeah, he deserves that. But on match day, when it's on Paramount, wherever you get your streaming where you're streaming the game from, you'll see who deserves that spot, and hopefully it's a dogfight because that means they're both doing a good job.
Yeah, exactly. And that's gonna be the really, pin to see who's gonna be more consistent in training because Mota values training a lot. A lot of the trainings, who's gonna really start in the next game. And the next game is against Milan, which we all know is very important. And Kolo Muani will be there, but he won't start. He's gonna be on the bench. But yeah, no, Vlahovic too. And like I said, if Vlahovic doesn't perform and Muani comes in, I think that Vlahovic's place as a starting, forward, could definitely be at risk because, like I said, he needs to be that consistent striker for us. If he's not, then what are we doing? What are we doing with Vlahovic then? Just like move. He needs to make a lot more movements. Like for example, when I'm going to say this, the way that Coop was moving as well during the Atalanta game, which I think his movement was great, but when he got to the final third, like I said, he just was, I think, very clumsy. He wasn't very clinical enough. But like I said, when you have a true striker like, for example, Vlahovic that can definitely do something, he needs to, make those runs, make those, and I think Colomwani is that type of striker to definitely do that in the final third to, and also be a little bit more clinical and maybe impact in the bigger games, especially against Milan. And we're playing at home, which I hope that we could definitely win against this Milan side, especially with the new new guys that we just got. Alberto Costa, Colomwani, and like I said, Colomwani, like I said, is going to be, I think, the center of our attack. He's going to be the one to really dictate on how we're going to go forward. And like I said, supposedly there is also a formation change that Motta could apply on Saturday when we go up against Milan. And what do you think about playing in a 4-3-3 instead of a 4-2-3-1? Especially with possibly Colomani coming off from the bench and making an impact. Do you think that our attack can improve under Motta's changes tactically? Like, what do you think, Hinge?
I think offensively, it's definitely a different way to go. You get numbers forward much quicker opposed to a 4-2-3-1. But defensively, it's definitely a much more risky formation for sure.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
100%.
that with Kolomani coming off, he can give us that drop in or even get in behind, which in a 4-3-3 is not a bad thing. You could pull your wingers inside and you could have your 10 you could pull your wingers inside, have your 9 stay high. You could pull your 9 in and have your 10 get in behind from your striker dropping in. So there's definitely a lot of versatility with the 4-3-3. Like I said though, defensively it is a risk. That's a very risky formation to play opposed to the 4-2-3-1 where you have more of structure defensively. It's not as risky and I think yes, it'll get us forward more. I think we'll get a lot. I think we'll hold a lot more possession in the attack and half due to the numbers being up higher. But as we've seen in previous matches, we just defensively, when it's coming down to those small moments in the back and those counters, we have to be very careful. And I feel a 4-3-3 does scare me a bit with that. But on the offensive side, I'm definitely for experimenting with that defensively. I am having that hesitation though because Juventus does get lackadaisical in those some transition moments or when they're dropping into that block, and it's scary. It's scary defensively, but offensively it can be something that can change the way we're seeing this season go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a little change like that, and with one or two players that can make the team truly gel. If because it's a domino effect in a way. If you're understanding what I mean by that.
100%, 100%, and that's like I said, going forward, I think it's going to be like I want to see the transition. How we go from defensive to attack. And I want to see that quick transition when Kolo Muani is on the field, especially against a club like Milan. When we're playing them, and also I'm very curious. I'm going to be like what's going to be happening on the right side of the field, especially with Alberto Costa supposedly maybe getting that start for the game as well. That's going to be really a big point. But for everybody that's going to be watching this video, make sure to like I said, let us know what you think in the comments on what you think about this Kolo Muani deal. I'm really liking it in my personal opinion. Angelo, I bet you think of the same thing. With
I
Kolo
agree
Muani.
100%.
Yeah, no, and like I said, everybody, make sure to like and subscribe on the video. Push notifications and also share the content, guys. We're almost to 700 subscribers. Let's get to 1K because remember, 1K we're giving another giveaway. So like I said, 1K subs, everybody, is another giveaway. So like I said, keep going, share the content, and let's go, everybody. Fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao
Ciao
tutti.
tutti.
Ciao, everybody.